Good morning. It's Celeste of Astrology by Celeste. Yes, it is. I am here with the Astro and the Oracle program where I'm going to talk just a little bit about the astrology, and then I'm going to pull cards for Oracle guidance to help you navigate the energies of the week. And this week's deck it's so funny. Okay, so Mercury is getting ready to go retrograde, and this deck was gifted to me by a good friend, the Wild Soul Oracle. Now it's renamed, calling it Voices of the Wild Oracle, but it's the same deck. So it's a beautiful deck that I'm going to be using now, called Voices of the Wild, and I'll put a link to it if you want to get it. It's by Lila Ravenswood, and it is what is the name? I'll put it in there. Inner something product. Anyway, here we go. Already going sideways, and I'm just starting, but look how pretty the back of the deck is. Yes, it is. Welcome, everyone. Hi, Ridiculisa. So good to see you and everyone. Hi, Marika. Welcome, welcome. Yogi. Welcome, welcome. I need to do some stretching. Yeah. Oh, Louise, did you feel the earthquake? We had an earthquake in Northern California. Well, okay, so what I do with this program is I'm going to pull cards, and you're going to listen for your sun, moon, and rising sign. So hopefully that will give you some insight on whether you should leave or stay where you're living right now. I would say, what is your IC? That is your fourth house cusp. What is going on with the ruler of your IC? And because the fourth house is the house of home and family. And if you feel like you need to move, something is likely going on down there. And so let's see, we're coming up to a Capricorn full moon. And if you are a Libra or Aries, either sun or rising, this may be speaking to, that you're kind of getting visibility over the next coming weeks about, is this the time that I need to move? So, you can look to your natal chart. You can always come for a personal reading, and we can look at what's going on with your chart, about the timing and the decision of you moving. Just be mindful. Mercury is going to go retrograde, and we're already in the shadow, and it's going to be June 29th through July 23rd. So it's not a great time to be making decisions like haphazardly. You really want to make sure you've really thought about it. I would wait until after August 12th, personally, after the next eclipse, because July is just wild, unless you really have to move. Because what could happen, you move during Mercury retrograde, and this is symbolic. Mercury rules our thought processes and our communication and any kind of documents, that there can be making decisions that you regret, or that there's something going on, like in the document of the rental agreement, or the deed to the house, or with the realtors or something, that there's something you're not seeing. And if you're buying a house with Mercury retrograde and Cancer, I'd be really careful to look about water issues, because Cancer is a water sign. Make sure to do an inspection to make sure everything's right. And with Cancer, I'd be especially around the kitchen, that, all of the appliances are working and everything, because you go move in 2 days later, bump, that refrigerator's dead. And you got to get a new refrigerator, or the landlord gives you grief about it, or something like that. Yeah. So just be mindful. It's really not the best time to be making decisions unless you've already decided it. And we are in the shadow. Things are coming up that I'm going to talk about. But first, I want to let you know that on Tuesday, Tiffany Harelik, Sarah L. Hrar, and myself are going to be doing a mid-year astrology check-in because called Reframing the Vision. And it's happening on Tuesday at noon Pacific time. And we're going to do something new where we're going to pick a few people after we talk about the astrology. And we're going to bring you up and you can give us your birth time. And you're going to get 3 different perspectives on people's charts. So yeah, I forget who asked me about moving. Yeah, come to that if you want to learn, if you want a chance for us to look at your chart about the timing of your move. So yeah, so we are going to have a lot of fun. We do events together every year, and we decided to do this mid-year one because the astrology is so lit for the rest of the year. We're going into a time of we're already in a time of big change, but like a new chapter is opening next month. So come to learn about it. Okay. Hi, Shay. So nice to see you. And, Marika, are you a Scorpio? You have Scorpio on the 4th house cusp. Is that what you're saying? Pluto might be squaring it, which could be Pluto right now in the sky is at 5 degrees of Aquarius, squaring, if that's your 4th house cusp is Scorpio. And Pluto is the modern ruler of Scorpio. So there's like tension that's pushing you to perhaps move where you live. And maybe there's some tension about where you work as well, where you're ready to make changes. You may be ready to like burn things down to the studs and rebuild something new. So yeah, a great time through this Mercury retrograde to really think about what kind of changes you want to make in your life. And this move may just be symbolic of one thing, and there may be a lot of deeper layers about things that you want to change. And this is a great time to think about that. Yes. Okay. Yeah, okay. And what else did I want to talk about? Okay, so the moon is now in Scorpio, which is so interesting. If you have Scorpio on the 4th house, this is a great time to get insights about the move. And something big is going on today. So this is the first time the moon has entered Scorpio, and the moon is the people, the public mood, and it speaks about what we're concerned with in general. And Scorpio is deep waters, and it comes in, and earlier this morning it opposed Chiron, the wounded healer, at 0 degrees of Taurus. Taurus is an earth sign, and these are both fixed signs. Scorpio fixed water, Taurus fixed earth. The wound gets real and starts to ooze, and that is why today's word of the day was infect. And we found out this morning that France has its first Ebola case. Yeah, so pay attention. I mean, we don't want, this is really, just pay attention. Hopefully everything will be gotten under control, but we've been looking for like health stuff and spreading illness with the astrology that's going on, especially because we had Saturn and Neptune meet in Aries. Saturn and Neptune, when they come together by conjunction or square or opposition, like in your own chart, it's often a time when Saturn comes to your Neptune or Neptune comes to your Saturn, when people are experiencing illness quite frequently is what is going on with people, because like Saturn is the structures and Neptune dissolves things. And Saturn is skin. Anyway, that's one indication of a health issue. Number 2, the South Node is in Virgo, a drain on health. And number 3, now Chiron is in Taurus. So Taurus is the body. So, that we need to be paying attention to this because there could be something going on. So pay attention to that. And what happened today was announced, the Daily Beast announced that, so the military had said you don't need to get your flu vaccine anymore. They had taken away this requirement for the military. Well, there's this big outbreak of the flu that sickened over 100 people in Texas. And now there's a reversal, and the flu vaccine has been reinstated. And that really speaks to what's going on. Mercury is in the sign, and this was announced today. Mercury's in the sign of Cancer, getting ready to go retrograde. And Cancer rules housing and home. So these people in tight quarters are getting sick. And when one person gets sick, they spread it. So we're just seeing a lot about illness and stuff. So yeah, that's another thing. And that's a Mercury retrograde thing. What retrogrades can bring is delays. So if you're flying anywhere next week or leave the house early, give yourself time to get to where you need to go, because Mercury's going retrograde on the 29th official, but we're already experiencing things. Yeah, and there's supposed to be big storms, so that could be why things are delayed. Delays, conflicts. It's a good time to get into a conflict with someone. Oh my God, yeah, me in my mouth with my Aries moon. Anyway, yeah. So I really need to button my lip. Actually, I needed to button my lip yesterday or the day before, but now I'm really buttoning my lip through the next week. And then, what do you call it? What's the other thing? Oh, reversals. So they took away the flu vaccine and now it's back. So you'll see reversals. There's also the potential for the collapse of what was contemplated. So you're going to be reading about things that are canceled, like 4th of July. I think it's going to be very windy in certain places with Mars and Uranus coming together. And there will be 4th of July things that are canceled or delayed or can't start on time. The World Cup is going to be really interesting to watch if soccer balls start being blown all over the place next week when Mercury is retrograde and Mars and Uranus are in Gemini and air sign, or the ball takes on a life of its own. We'll see if anything like that happens, but that could be something that is coming up. Yeah, so just be prepared. Mercury's going retrograde. Be prepared for delays. There's a higher risk of conflicts, and just keep that in mind. And reversals. You thought something was going to happen. Oh, you were going to sign the dotted line. Don't spend the money till you sign on the dotted line, because it can be like psych and it's pulled back. And then the reoccurrence of previous situations can come back as well, like the vaccine. People need to get that flu vaccine if they're in the military again. So notice what you're seeing over the next week. And like the name of this deck is different. That's a Mercury retrograde thing. Okay, so the other thing I wanted to talk about, let me see if there are any other comments. Hey, Cheryl from the LBC. So good to see you. I see Southern Lady, and Lara is here to check my tangents. Hey, Shay, and everybody. Okay, and that kind of girl. I see you. Yes. Okay. So what else did I want to talk about? Earthquakes. So today, Mars, the planet that rules conflict, energy, drive, war, is on Algol, the fixed star. Now, Algol's at 26 Taurus, and so it was yesterday, it was exact, but now it's at 27 Taurus, but it's still conjunct. And Algol is the beheading star. It's the Medusa mythology. She was turned to stone, and I put in my stories, Katie Q. She's a great astrologer, and she did a reel about Algol. So it's in my stories if you want to watch it. And she goes into the backstory. But I will just say this is a red blinking light in the sky that cultures all over the world that didn't even know each other thousands of years ago gave similar symbology. They noticed when it was active that catastrophes would happen. And it has this, the Arabs called it the wife of the demon. The Chinese called it pile of corpses. And then the Greeks associated with Algol, with Medusa, the beheading star. In Hebrew, it has to do with Lilith, a woman who would not be subservient. And there's several things going on today that are related to this. So number one, there was an earthquake this morning in San Francisco area, like a 5 point, almost a 6.0, which is significant. I didn't feel it, but it was an earthquake. Number two, there was a political earthquake, and an earthquake is Mars on Algol. It's like there being this, potential for this real shakeup of the earth, because Taurus is the earth. And there was a political earthquake in New York, where 3 candidates on the Democratic primaries, more the Democratic Socialists, took out establishment. They beat the established Democrat leaders, and I believe all 3 were endorsed by Mamdani. And people are looking at his success and not waking up to the old ways of doing things aren't working. So anyway, 3 Democratic leaders were beheaded in a political earthquake. That's the second thing. The third thing, what was the other news story that I wanted to? And that's that now the Scorpio Moon is squaring Pluto, and Democrats or establishment leaders are shaking in their boots because they know the people have had it with the way things are, because it's not working. Yeah. And what was the other thing I wanted to talk about? I forgot, but there was something else big that happened. Anyway, Beth has Mars at 28 Taurus, and you're not leaving your house until it passes. Well, Beth, you made it through Uranus over your Mars 3 times. Oh, I think you should be okay. Oh, but yeah, wait for your Mars return, and then let's see what's going on. You know what's really interesting? On Sunday, Mars will be at 29 degrees of Taurus in a sextile with Jupiter at 29 degrees of Cancer. So there's going to be something really interesting there. And I hope it's not shake, rattle, and roll, but we'll see what happens. But I got the image of like bulldozers moving Earth. So we'll see what happens with that. But that's going to be something before Mars goes into Gemini. Yeah, we'll see. Right now, there's some negotiations going on around apparently ships are moving through the Strait of Hormuz, which is fantastic. Let's hope it sticks for a little bit. We'll see what happens. Yeah. Yeah, you've already been through that. So you've got like new insights. Okay, so this is about Beth. Beth, you've got new insights about how you use your energy, your Mars, because Mars can be very subconscious. It's our primal desires, and how we get what we want without regard to anyone else's, without concern about anyone else. I'm just going to pull you a card about your Mars return, something to think about. Let's hope it's not the Tower. But if it is the Tower, it's about revelations, about how you use your energy. Oh, my God. I pulled the Tower the other day in my booth, told me something about, because I have a foot problem, and when I'm not wearing my shoes the way I walk, he imitated it, and it was not. Oh, okay. So, Beth, I pulled the 5 of Cups. Now, this is a card of grief. So, this can be, think about what things cause you to feel grief over. Yeah. So be mindful with your Mars return about making mistakes, like slow down, drive carefully, double check everything so that you do not have, and temperance is on the bottom. So be mindful about any drinking or anything. Maybe this is about, I don't know if this to me is about maybe pouring out, if alcohol, you maybe want to do a cleanse or something. Yeah, think about that with that card. Yeah. This is like feeling devastated, but will recover. A person who always sees the cup half empty, self-pity. So maybe take a look at your relationship with, do you see the cup half empty? Do you engage in self-pity? And that could be that Mars sextile, Jupiter aspect. Oh, you pulled that last week. Oh my God, Beth. Oh my God. Well, if there's anything about drinking, that's easy to take care of. If there is, just be mindful to moving through the world. Be careful with fire and knives. Yeah. So I hope everything will be okay. Yeah. Oh, you're welcome, Beth. Yeah, my pleasure. Okay. Hey, Hilda Puppies. Good morning. Libras. Well, we had a first quarter moon in Libra this week. Yes, we did, where the sun was at 0 degrees of Cancer and the moon at 0 degrees of Libra. So like lots of things have been in the news about diplomacy, art, things like that. Lizzo's album did not do very well. She's experiencing some grief. And but in general, Libras, especially if you have something at 4 degrees of Libra, this could be a time where you're making massive changes and like really up-leveling yourself, because what you're going to have is Uranus coming in from one side in a trine in Gemini, where you can get brilliant ideas, and Pluto from the other side, Pluto in Aquarius, really can bring transformational relationships with the community. If you're a Libra and you want to make change in your community and run for office, oh my God, because lots of Libras have a talent for compromise and negotiations and collaborations. It's an air sign that communicates and connects in a way that is eloquent, persuasive, and collaborative. It's ruled by Venus, which brings people together. This could be, if you're thinking about running for office, this could be a fantastic time to do. And Neptune is opposite you in Aries. So some people may project on you, but you may think about what you are really passionate about and willing to fight for. And is there some deception you want to stop or knock out and get in the mix and take care of? And then Jupiter is going to go into Leo. Like this is around like July 19th. It's going to be big. This is when they're all at 4 degrees and the president is going to the World Cup I guess he's going to present the what do you call it? I guess the winner with the thing, and maybe pass his Peace Prize on to the next person. And I don't know, they may hear them chanting or singing something about him from outer space. We'll see what happens with that. But it is going to be something. It is not going to be people just sitting there politely and letting him say what he has to say. People from Australia, New Zealand, England, and another country have made up chants about him and his relationship with Jeffrey, and they've been singing it all over the United States during the World Cup, and they're not happy about it in the White House and trying to figure out how to deal with it. It is like a political earthquake is brewing for them as well. I don't know what they think they're going to do, but we'll see what happens. But I don't think they're going to be able to stop people, and maybe they'll come up with something new that we hear on July 19th. Stay tuned. Okay, one nice thing is, I already said this, ships are moving through the Strait of Hormuz. I got to, oh, sign up for the webinar. It'll be a link in the caption, as well as you can go to astrologybyceleste.com and sign up for the webinar. Okay. Yes. So that's how Libras are doing. Libras can really make big changes in your life. Really pay attention to any great ideas you're getting. There can be really a pull that you feel inside about up-leveling yourself in some way. Oh, stop eating junk. Okay, that is great. That is something you can take care of. Yeah. Oh, you're a Cancer rising. I am too, and the retrograde is making you nervous. I am looking at it as a sacred pause, an opportunity for me to slow down, go within, get some more rest. It's going to go over my ascendant 3 times. We'll see what happens, if anything. I find that with Mercury retrogrades, I find like mistakes that I need to correct. So that's always good. I think, yeah, I wouldn't be worried. I would just like button your lip and avoid getting into conflicts with people and slow down, double check everything. And there may just be, people may be talking about you for some reason. It could be good. And yeah, think about that. And do not, and I've been saying this since last year, do not leave children or dogs alone near water or in the bathroom or in a hot car. Hot car, there's already been 3 stories about kids dying in hot cars. But there's probably going to be a big story about, you know, a kid drowning potentially with this Mercury in Cancer. Not even for a second. Because retrogrades, people get distracted. They lose track of time. They don't realize. Pay attention to what you're doing. This is a time where somebody goes to work and sits at their desk and they forget they didn't drop their kid off at daycare. Don't ask your husband to take your kid to daycare if it's not something he normally does. Yeah. As much as you can, like when you screw up the routine, there's more opportunity for an issue. So if you're aware and paying attention, I think there oftentimes there's just like, they could be amusing, the things that come up, like this deck having a different title, or you hear from an old friend you haven't talked to in ages or something like that. Yeah. Okay. Hi, Robert Bobby. Nice to see you. Hey, Vivian. Nice to see you. Oh, you have an interview. Okay, great. Well, really check the fine print before accepting the job. Make sure, yeah, ask the questions you need to ask. Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, Jojo. Lots of kids in the UK drowning. We are in the shadow of that Mercury retrograde. Ooh, and cold lakes. That lake is a Cancer thing. That's really sad. Yeah. Okay, let me get to these cards. I think I made all my announcements. Of course, you can come for a reading if you want. And come to my webinar with Tiffany and Sarah. And we're going to be doing, it's actually called the Pay Attention to Health Stuff. Notice what's coming up within you. This is the first Scorpio Moon with opposing Chiron. I'm going to the dentist. Oh my God, Chiron and Taurus. He needs to fix something in my mouth. Hopefully it'll be easy. Yeah, so that's my story. I'm going to the dentist. I'm a Taurus. Chiron has just entered Taurus. Ugh. And already something's going on with these teeth, and I have had teeth issues. So I know that's my story. Yeah, but it seems like it's going to be minor. Yeah. Yeah, and then it squares Pluto in Aquarius. So notice what's going on, group things. Yeah. Okay. And yeah, there may be there will be a bill involved with this work I have to do. Taurus is health and wealth. So I know as a Taurus, I'm getting something fixed in my mouth and it's going to cost me some money, even though I have insurance. Yeah. Welcome to America. Yeah. Anyway, this is called The Voices of the Wild Oracle now. And it's by Lila Ravenswood. And it is a Inner Whispers deck. That's it. Inner Whispers. Okay. Now you're going to listen for your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. And I'm just going to pull cards for things to think about for Mercury retrograde. Yeah, let's do things to think about for the upcoming Mercury retrograde in the sign of Cancer. I don't know if I did this already another week. No, I did Chiron last week. Yeah. Just something to contemplate. Yeah, it doesn't, just something to contemplate. Listen for your sun sign, your moon sign, and your rising sign. And as always, we start with Aries, because when I tried to start with other things, I got myself all confused. So this is what we do. Aries, you got the Dolphin, joy. Look at this card, the Dolphin, joy. So contemplate on joy. What brings you joy, Aries? Yeah, Saturn and Neptune are in your sign. This is a real opportunity when Saturn and Neptune come together. One of the symbologies can be about making your dreams, Neptune, a reality, Saturn. So and it's going to be work. It's not going to be it's most likely going to be work because Saturn requires effort. And sometimes it can feel like Sisyphus pulling that boulder up the hill and then it rolls back down and you have to push it up again. But it may be worth it to bring in the joy so that you can whistle while you work. Yes, yes. So think about that. And if you're an Aries, this is Mercury retrograde is happening in your 4th house of home. Yes, it is. Yeah. And what about your home brings you joy? Yeah. And maybe make your home more joyful. How can you make your home more joyful? Yes. Think about that. Taurus. And if you see a dolphin, pay attention to that. Ooh, Taurus got the spider. Creativity. Look at this. These are beautiful cards. The spider, creativity for Taurus. Yeah. What is some creative project that you can do? Mercury retrograde will be in a sextile with your Taurian placements in your 3rd house of the mind, siblings, local environment. Maybe go to think about if maybe you want to go to I don't know, a painting class or something fun, making a pottery or something like that, or just writing, creative writing for yourself, journaling. Think about that. So the spider, does it have a number on it? Let me see. Oh, they're nice. They're in alphabetical order. Okay. The spider, an ancient weaver of webs, symbolizes creativity, patience, and the interconnectedness of life. They're meticulous in their craft, creating intricate webs that serve as both home and hunting tools. This card encourages you to tap into your creative potential and weave the life you desire. The spider reminds you that it's a process that requires patience and attention to detail. Yeah. Yeah, so start weaving your dreams into reality. And as a Taurus, you should be patient. Yeah. Unless your sun is afflicted or whatever is afflicted. Think about how you can patiently, and especially if you're worried about your security with Chiron now in Taurus, this may bring themes coming up to your conscious attention about financial security or any kind of stability. And think about how, I talked to Stormy Grace yesterday on her program. It's going to be on her YouTube channel. And we talked about, there are going to be a lot of entrepreneurs, people who never thought they would be an entrepreneur because of the situation going on with the changing in the job landscape. What are your talents? Think creatively. Do you want to start your own business or have a side hustle? Yeah. Ooh, Gemini, the Raccoon, resourcefulness. Gemini. Think about, how can you be raccoons and how raccoons are very resourceful. Yes, they are. Yes, they are. They figure out how to get themselves fed no matter what. And this is happening in your second house. The Mercury's going retrograde for Geminis in your second house. So you may really be thinking about financial things, reviewing, revisiting, revising. Maybe think about one of the ways to increase the money you have is to maybe think about, the products you're buying if you feel like money's tight. And it may feel like it a bit where when Mercury's retrograde, think about do you need that coffee from the coffee shop every morning? Maybe sometimes make your coffee at home. Or do you need to buy Cottonelle? Maybe get a less expensive brand. I don't know. Think about, there's lots of ways to stretch things. Yeah. Hi, Stacy. I see you there, and everyone. Welcome, welcome. Okay. Ooh, Cancer, the caterpillar, potential. Look at this, Cancer, the caterpillar, potential. Ooh, I love these cards. Yeah. You are full of potential, and Jupiter is in the sign of Cancer for a few more days. It's moving into Leo on the 29th, so you can be reflecting back over this last year, Cancer. What abundance came into your life? Who invested in you? Did you have any benefactors who just helped you in some way unexpectedly? Yeah, you are full of potential, and now is the time to nurture it. Embrace your growth process and know transformation is on the horizon. So like if you're a Cancer rising, Jupiter has been going through your first house. And if you've been using this energy to invest in yourself, to grow something, Jupiter goes into your second house, and maybe you start getting a little extra money from the work you put in. Yeah. Or just if it's been a talent, you start to feel pride about, I'm doing this better and whatnot. I got to get speed up. Let's see. So think about that. And this is happening in your first house. So real reviewing, revisiting of who you are, your identity, how you present yourself to the world. Now, Cancer rules tubes of all kinds. Not Cancer, excuse me, Mercury. Mercury is going retrograde. Tubes of all kinds. So pay attention if there's any blockages in clear your sinuses. I started using a neti pot again. So that's something to think about, Cancer, if you are having problems with allergies. Okay, for Leo, focus, the Swordfish. Look at this. So the Swordfish, and it's interesting, she's kind of laying in the water, and this Mercury's going retrograde in your 12th house. So this will bring stuff up from your subconscious, secrets that you didn't even know about yourself, potentially, to yourself. and it's a good time to pay attention to what is coming up with that. So I get that about dreams is a big story. Pay attention to your dreams. Maybe have a dream journal as Mercury goes retrograde in your 12th house. And sharpen your focus and cut through distractions. So if you are someone who is squirrel, gets easily distracted, Leo, focus and think about that. How can you channel your energy towards your goals with precision? This is a great time to step back. Maybe if you put down anything, it's a great time to pick it up, review it, revise it, and get it out there, Leo. As well as taking some time for really taking some downtime, because the 12th house is the house of solitude, and it's a great time to like think about meditation or something like that, where you focus in on your breath. Ooh, Virgo, the Scorpion, power. Yeah, Virgo, the Scorpion, power. So this is going through your 11th house. Mercury is retrograding in your 11th house. And you may be thinking about your relationship with the group, the collective, your local community. Maybe you want to get more involved with your local community. Go to board meetings. Like if they're trying to put one of these ding dong, AI centers in your neighborhood or something like that. Think about how you have the collective has power, the people, the rank and file has power. And yeah, can you be strategic about how you use your power? Maybe you want to think about Scorpio is a sign of, no, not Scorpio, Virgo. I'm a mess. Anyway, Virgo is a sign of service. Maybe you want to think about, being a poll worker or something like that with upcoming big elections in the fall. Yeah. The 11th house, thinking about like the collective. Yeah, you're also maybe thinking about your hopes and dreams and the amount of power you have to make things happen. Yeah. See, Libra. Libra, you got the Beetle. Adaptation. Yes, the Beetle. Let me read that. These cards are so pretty. Yeah, I love them. I haven't used them in a while, so it's like rediscovering a deck again. Yeah. Beetles are masters of adaptation, thriving in various environments with their hard exoskeletons and resourceful nature. This card signifies the need to adapt to changing circumstances. The Beetle teaches that flexibility and resilience are keys to survival. Adapt to the changes around you with creativity and resourcefulness. Flexibility is a strength right now. So you may have something come up. It may seem like out of the blue around work, because this Mercury retrograde is retrograding in your 10th house. Like meetings may be canceled or moved or anything. Make sure you check your schedule carefully, like get places early. That could be a good way for Libras to deal with and adapt to the fact that Mercury is going retrograde. And if something comes up like blah, 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 how, why, blah, blah, blah. No. Knowing that Mercury's retrograde could help you understand the timing of the change. Yeah, that this is part of, yeah. And there's also what's going to be happening as well is the sun is going through your 10th house. So there's a spotlight on your work house, and there's emotionally things may be coming up at the Capricorn full moon next week. So just pay attention to what's going on. And how can you adapt accordingly? So Scorpio got the hen, nurturing. Wow, Scorpio, now Chiron in Taurus is opposing you until like September, and then it's going to come back in April for the next 7 years or so. So nurturing, thinking about how you can nurture your physical self and others is something that's coming up for you. And what is your relationship with nurturing? What are your philosophies around this? Mercury's going retrograde in your 9th house of long distance travel, higher education, your big philosophies, religion, things like that. Yeah. Let's see if I want to say anything else about the hen. Yes, show care, love, and patience in your interactions, and you will see growth and warmth in return. Who or what needs nurturing right now? Am I neglecting my own self-care? These are your questions. Scorpio, sun, moon, or rising. Okay. For Sagittarius, the cat, independence. Yeah. Well, Sagittarius is, one of the shadows is being non-committal. So this is going through the retrograde's going through your 8th house, and there may be some things that come up to your conscious attention, the shadows that we normally kind of push down, maybe coming to your conscious attention. And what is your relationship with independence, and how do you behave when you feel your independence is threatened? Yeah, trust your ability to navigate life on your own terms. Solitude can be a source of clarity and strength. So maybe with the retrograde, go within. Okay, Lara, how does what affect Scorpio rising? I don't know. What did I say that you're asking about Scorpio rising? Yeah, get your neti pot. Well, Chiron's opposite you. So especially if you have anything at 0, Scorpio. So you may be feeling like it's coming in from outside of yourself. That's what oppositions do. So just pay attention to what if someone says something to you that stirs things up, like that may be important. It's part of Chiron opposing you. What are they saying? What does it mean? Reflect on it. Do a little deep shadow diving. Yeah. Okay, Capricorn, you got the Llama, endurance. Yeah, I love that. The Llama, endurance. So Capricorn is a Saturn-ruled sign. When you stick to things, it can be really rewarding. It's going through your 7th house. So if you're in a long-term partnership or something, like, you may be reflecting upon that, as the 7th house is the house of the other. It's opposing you for Capricorns and Cancer risings, or sun, moon, or rising. Really be mindful of what you're communicating, because there's more opportunity for conflict with Mercury going retrograde. But sometimes conflicts need to happen so that they can be resolved. Yes, they do. Yeah. Let's see. And here we go for Aquarius, the whale. Wisdom, the whale, wisdom. Oh, I love this. And there's like a balloon in here. And this is happening in your 6th house. Mercury is going retrograde in your 6th house of routines, of like the work you do for the money you make, and also health. Wisdom is your body telling you something that you need to know in order to improve your health. Like, I just have gotten this thing about I needed cherries this week. So I bought some cherries and I looked it up, and I think it's because maybe I need the iron. So if your body is craving something, like every once in a while I crave red meat, yeah, it's maybe telling you that you need some kind of nutrient. So listen to your body's wisdom. And Cancer, where Mercury is going to retrograde, rules the stomach. So pay attention. It may be something that you need. And last but not least, Pisces got the flying fish. Possibility. Pisces, are you feeling like the possibilities are endless with the North Node in your sign, amplifying either your sun, your moon, or your rising? And how have you been using this? It's coming to a close July 26th. You had it since January of 2025. Yes, yes. Let's see. Embrace new possibilities and be willing to take risks. The leap you take now could open doors to unexpected opportunities. I love that. This is happening in your 5th house of creativity, things you do for joy. This is where Mercury is going retrograde, as well as children is a 5th house topic. Yeah. So maybe that's what you're thinking about. Yeah. So just think about possibility and think about the glass half full with that, Pisces. Good. I'm glad you're feeling new beginnings. Oh, Chiron and Taurus. Yeah, it's opposite you, Lara. Now, it's only at 0 degrees. It's not going to get any farther than that because it's going to go retrograde and go back into the sign of Aries to finish up some work. Yeah. Yeah. So, and then April, it goes back into Taurus. But just notice what's percolating, especially what's coming from outside of yourself. There can be, pay attention, especially if something kind of wounds you a little bit, or whether it's your ego. Ego stories are going to be really big with Jupiter going into Leo. And making a T square. Yeah. Actually, for you, it'll be a fixed cross, because especially if you have anything right at 0 to 4 Scorpio. Yeah, just pay attention to what's going on within. Okay, so thank you all for coming. I will post a picture of the cards as well as a link to the webinar that's happening, where you have a chance to get perspectives on what's coming up next for the rest of the year, as well as a potential for a reading from 3 different astrologers. So that could be really cool. We'll see how it goes. It's the first time we're doing it. I know it's going to go well. Anyway, take good care, and I'll be back.